Hello, listeners out there. Welcome to the Petty Cash Podcast. I'm your host today, Joe, and I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts here,
Sabrina,
Danny,
Charles,
Vinny.
All right, how is everyone now? I know it's this is immediately recorded right after Danny, so so we'll go by Vinny first.
Tired as hell.
Charles,
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just glad that our little fix for the XLR mic is doing a good job now.
I know for the technical, people out there, yeah, we actually have like a little splitter for the mics out there, but going through. Danny, what about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Slept decently and excited for dinner.
Yes. Just food. Sabrina?
I'm actually doing pretty good too. Yeah, I know, because we have a double date planned tonight for dinner, so I'm excited for that as well.
Oh, wait. Tell us about this one.
Yeah.
I want to pause on this one.
You guys met him before. My buddy Brian and his fiance.
Okay.
Ain't that adorable?
I was going to say, where are you guys going?
North Italia out in Gilbert.
Oh, okay.
Fancy.
It's so good.
Pasta.
Yeah.
So good. The fettuccine Alfredo, the chicken Alfredo, and the squidding pasta are all excellent.
So, would you like some cheese in your pasta?
Yes, please.
I'll tell you.
Have you seen him grinding?
There was this meme that I saw on Instagram, and it had like Walter White. He's like, "I'll tell you when to stop." And I was like, "Oh man, yeah."
When we went to Olive Garden, I think like last year after Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Their cheese.
Last year, 2 years ago.
Was
Yeah,
it
no,
2 years
in
ago?
2021. Jesus.
Yeah.
Bloody heck.
And Danny just brings out this big French bread here.
Just shoves it in his mouth.
Yeah, good God. Man. I just realized you and Sabrina have the same drinks, water and Coca-Cola. Honey, you're going to have exactly what I have. Eat my bread.
Don't choke on it.
Oh my God.
We'll make the apostles suffer. Fuck you, Judas. My bread. Jesus, smiling.
I love you guys calling it like 3 seconds after the joke.
What happened to Danny? Choked on bread.
That was too much of a footlong for him to take.
As like Sabrina's giving him like CPR, she's pushing and you just see like the bread just hop out of his mouth, go back in.
Oh no!
It's like bread.
Extra moist.
You made that worse.
Keep talking, Brittany.
I'm sorry, that was too funny.
So if you're gonna go to an Italian restaurant, why on earth are you scarfing?
Yeah,
down
why
a-
are you eating that?
Just eating a little bit of it.
A little bit. Jeez. Want some, Sabrina? Here, have it. Here, you want some? Let you have it.
I can just picture is like trying to like shove the tree down like the
Yeah.
Godzilla. Yeah.
Like eat it. Something phallic, but
My abs hurt.
There you go. The workout.
He had that underneath the table. Just FYI, people.
Oh, I knew about this. Yeah, I knew.
Mary Poppins, y'all. He just freaking brings out a love of bread.
You had like oh my God, Chipotle chips and what is the dipping sauce you had?
The queso.
Queso.
White
Good.
queso.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that he had that bread there. Yeah, I knew.
Danny's like,
Danny's waiting to do that bit like what last episode.
He was saving it for this one. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna bring this bread out here.
Danny's like, oh, what about fourth meal?
What am I
Breakfast. What about second breakfast?
What about supper? Second Supper.
You know what? Oh, I saw. One of my friends. She had a story of the actors Merry and Pippin, and they were like, talking about like, can you imagine if we added like F words in,
Yeah, they had a podcast.
in Lord of the Rings, like Fuckleberry Fairy, follow me, and I just like they just inserted like fuck into their lines and all that.
Like full of a fucking took.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it in the Hobbit? I forget the actor's name, but like one of them, every time they were doing behind the scenes, it seemed like he was always
Martin
flipping
Freeman,
off.
yeah,
yeah,
giving
he
the
was
finger.
always flipping off like whoever
Yeah.
was filming the finger. Yeah,
Like, another reason why I love The Hobbit.
Oh man, like the fan edit of that one by M4.
I need to watch that
Dude,
one.
it's so like I don't know. For me, I've been on a like fan edit spree, but I'd also been downloading like Monster Vision, Sven Gulli, like so anything Joe Bob
Nice.
Briggs with like them. I'm just like, what a a little personal project I'll probably do. Just like take all that footage of their talking bits and then just reinsert it with better footage of the movie unedited.
Oh my god.
I know they'll be like, I can't believe they edited that part out on TV. It's like, well, we just watched the unedited version. It goes from like a very like poor quality, a video to like a very, 4K film, like
4K, ultra high diff.
yeah. Oh, dude. And they were here in town and I missed them. And I was like, oh, God. I knew if I went there at like Majestic, I was like, hey, order popcorn and candy. And I was like, no. For me, it's been like a strict week, too, of just like, discipline. Like, don't eat like junk food, you son of a bitch. Like, it was like, you are like you're going to have your pre-run, a pre-gym food, which for me, it always works just because if I was going to go on a run, either I would have a full orange.
Oh.
And like, so I'm out in front of Planet Fitness, and I have like this Jif peanut butter, and like unscrewing it and all that, and I just take like one big spoon, and this guy like looks at me. I'm like.
You ever see a guy eat peanut butter before, huh?
But it's a good like snack because it's like it's got your protein. It'll fill you up. It's like it's a good thing to eat and it's healthy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is. And the best part too is that it's stuck in your teeth. So while you're running, you're like,
yeah, it's like
More for later.
I don't know if I could do that while Ryan just running like I would just be like breathing peanut butter breath. You see someone biting for me.
but no, it works though. But like, so like to begin, like my Monday. It's just this episode is probably just the week of, but and then we'll get to the big guy here. But so like my Monday, like I wake up and I'm like like fucking like 2:05 and all that. Holy shit! And so I really like fasted on like that Monday. Like I had only like a banana, oatmeal, and just like this boiled egg. And so dude, and like that was it, and coffee. And I had like this salad, but when you have the salad, it comes in this big. If anyone has gone to Salad and Go, it's those big little orange bowls. And for me, like if you get like one of those disposable bowls, it's so fucking tiny. It's for cereal, of course, and all that. So if you just put like a salad, like be like, okay, I guess that's it for today. And so I basically like weighted myself out. Like I had like water and like sliced up little like lemon like cubes and all that. Took out all the seeds and just squirted the juice. And apparently like it's such high in vitamin C too that it's like also cleans up your veins too. So and that was like my preferred drink throughout the whole week. I didn't have my usual tea. Well, except coffee. Coffee was like the only drink because I need to wake the F up. But
yeah, heard that.
yeah, and so I'm drinking that stuff, but dude, like I noticed like a big ass difference when like that following like Tuesday morning, I got on the scale, bam, fucking 5 pounds just gone.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, and I was
Nice.
like, holy shit! Like, okay, this is definitely working. And so, but it was just like I was hangry at work. Like, believe me, like there was a. Like the there was like a Chinese leftover, and so like I had it's sitting in the fridge for like almost like 4 days, and I just did not want to touch it, and I'm just like, nope, nope, that's just gonna make it worse and all that. And so I'm just gonna continue like just eating all this like natural foods and all that stuff. So, after that was done, like as soon as the Friday hit, and after I got done with my run, hold on, let me go back to the running. So the running part, at the gym, dude, I was just like, ugh, like I couldn't fucking like after Tuesday, I was like, okay, I could kind of feel it and all that, but I'm like hitting myself, like not hitting myself, but just like, turning up the speed to like 6.4, and I'm just like, really, pressuring myself to like, okay, I have to do this. I have to break at least like 12:53 on the timer and all that for an hour, a mile and a half. And so, and I'm just like, and there was this funny thing is I had like, at the gym, like I pull out like rolls of like, paper towels and all that. And they're like, every time like I'm sweating, I'm like, because I hated using my shirt because, the more sweat you put on your shirt, you can just feel that like sag. And
sag,
you're like,
yep.
oh crap.
Yeah.
And there was like this one kid and he started like looking at me like one of the days and he was just kind of like fanning. And he was just kind of like joking around and all that. He's like, hey, man, are you okay? And all that. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm just like running. But like after the Wednesday and Friday, I had like a little break for Thursday, but my running, and I'm not holding onto the rails or anything. I literally ran 3 miles, half an hour, and on my Instagram stories I shared it just because there was that big ass progress and all that, and I was just like, holy crap, thank Christ, like, and so. It ain't over, but it's just like I could actually withstand like, and I felt like great, like really, really great. Like I haven't felt this energy like since, probably before COVID and all that, before I started gaining weight. So I was just like, holy crap, I could kind of feel that guy coming back. And so, I just started booking it like knees, like, how you kind of feel it.
Oh, yeah.
So when you're running, so tip out there, people who run, don't ever land on your fucking heels. Like, and I hear that like at like treadmills and all that. I'm like, you're supposed to land on the middle of your foot and all that, like just, below like, the ball of your foot and all that. And also don't land on your toes too, and all that. Just no, just flat. And so, when you're breathing too, when you're running, you just have your back straight and you just kind of like, you breathe in until like you can't like, take in anymore, and then you just kind of like do like, I don't know, count in your head 4 to 6 steps, and then exhale. When if you feel like you gotta like breathe again, like breathe through your nose again, and then just kind of hold it in there, because apparently what it is that you're keeping all the oxygen up, and then as soon as like you exhale, you're basically releasing all the oxygen in your muscles and everything to help kind of like, okay, like let's keep going and all that.
So,
I should try that.
hold your breath for 46 steps. Is that what I'm?
No, 4 to 6.
4 to 6.
4 to 6. Okay.
Oh yeah, not 4 to 6. I'll be like, shoo, like I'm gone after that. Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to
and
try that.
basically, if I'm like, if it's working, like I have to basically like, kind of weird, like I put my like hand on my stomach and then I kind of like suck in that like, because like when you're breathing that, it's like, and then like, okay, wait, I kind of feel like I got to get more, so I'm breathing more and all that. But like I noticed like there was this one guy, and he was like starting right by me, and he's like running and all that, and he kind of looks at, I see him kind of looking at like, how far I've gotten, probably like 1.7 miles and all that, and like I could feel him like now he's like running and all that. I could see him trying to catch up, and I'm on like the 22 minutes and 40 second mark, and like I see him, and he's probably like getting up to like maybe 12, I would say, or something. But then I could hear the beep beep, and I could just see him stop, and I went like, good. And so that was that ego pathetic. Yeah. Like, but yeah, you son of a bitch. Like, you think you're trying to outrun me? Fucking just reverse flash that shit.
Joe's over here like, on your left.
I've been trying to get back into going to the gym again. Like this past week, 20 minutes on the treadmill. And what I used to do, I've started getting away from that. I used to do like, start at 3.5, bump it up to 4, bump it up to 5, and the last minute bump it up to 6. This past Thursday, I'm sharing my progress with our group chat, I'm at
You just showed a picture of the treadmill screen, and at first I was like, "What the hell
I'm
is
at
that?"
4 miles per hour. Joe's like, great. Bump it up to 5.5. Like, oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah, Black Angus laugh,
For the
but
next,
yeah.
like 7.5 minutes, I'm running at 5.5 miles per hour, and it's towards. I'm like, I'm gonna stop, and then it's like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. When I was like, no, I can do this. I was able to go the whole
Dude,
time.
yeah, there are moments when
Yeah.
you run too, and you're just like, "Oh shit!" Like, I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna stop right here. No. Keep going. And dude, like, it's like ridiculous, dude. There's sometimes when I'm wiping my sweat, I kind of like misstep and all that. I kind of like, oh shit, I need to like balance myself or something.
Yeah.
You know, and I just feel like that slab of like paper towel just slam on the fucking, on the thing. I remember one dropped, and I could see like the napkin fall, and it was like Mission Impossible with the thing just like, and it just. Like keep running, but like as I'm running, I see on the turn bell too of the treadmill, and I see this big ass wet spot.
God forbid it gets wet enough, you're going.
No, yeah, it was no. For me, I try to keep. Yes, also people out there keep up. It's like, a fucking car almost. Please switch your fucking, tires and all that if you want to like run better and all that. I see people and they have like fucking holes in their shoes. I'm like, why the hell? Or freaking duct tape too. And I'm like, why are you running with that?
They
Like,
think they're Sonic the Hedgehog, and they're not.
oh, dude.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast, yeah. And then when they fail, then the rings explode from them. But yeah. But I see, or sometimes people would wear like the most ridiculous like footwear, like expensive shit, like you would see, and I'm just like, why are you bringing that in here?
Or like they're not even dressed in workout gear. I've seen like people show up in standard t-shirt, blue jeans, and fucking like hiking boots, and like running on the treadmill. I'm like, are you kidding me?
No.
There's a guy that like dresses up like Beachhead and Storm Shadow, like he wears like the full on like mask, and I was running with not with somebody. It was just like someone I was near, and we kept looking at this guy because he had like the weighted vest and everything with a little Camelback, tube and all
shit.
that.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh man, he's going to war, dude. He's going to war at Planet Fitness and all that. And so, I was seeing this guy, and it's just, I would send like side pictures because you're not supposed to take pictures, but
It's too funny. It's too
yeah,
funny.
and so I'm just like, look at this guy and all that, and so I just think it's funny. I would see him like every probably like I would say like Thursdays, but yeah, I don't know. I just think it's really funny, and so as like as I was like starting this workout routine, I didn't want to let's say like build any more muscle. So now it was just if I can do at least 40 plus push-ups the way that they want it, or 3 minutes and 15 seconds of like 4-man planking. Okay, I think I'm good with like strength and all that. Now it's just got to build up my fat, like fat ass to like cardio and all that.
Yeah.
And so it becomes like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And so, do you have any like, how's your, do you go to the gym, Sabrina? Sorry, I should be.
No, well, I've been so busy with work and stuff that I just haven't had the time. Otherwise, like, trust me, I like when work slows down, that's when I go. But like because work has been so bad lately, and like my headaches too. My headaches is also the reason why I haven't been going lately, because like I've been having like days where I get just on and off headaches, and I can't do anything because I'm like, I want to do this and get better, but at the same time, it's like, but I have on and off headaches, and that'll make it worse. So.
See, whenever I get headaches and I want to go to the gym, I just say fuck it, and I just go for a walk. I'll go for a walk, do a little bit of jogging around the neighborhood here and there, but it at least gets me fresh air and exercise in. And like last week, I just went back to the gym for the first time to go on the treadmill, and I was close to getting an hour in, but then the machine resetted the whole system when I had to make my stop. And I was like, oh, shit. But
who was that? Someone, yeah, I think that was you, Danny. Where like the thing like pulled on the treadmill.
I was running, and like I forget which hand, like it like yanked the thing out. I had to start over.
Well, I remember similar to that. It's a couple months ago. I was running, and I was trying to adjust my hands. and I opened up my hand too much, and I brought it down on the emergency stop. Because they have these new model treadmills, and they have this big ass emergency stop panel that you can like smack like pretty easily on the front of it. And I hit it, and all of a sudden it slowed down. I'm like, what the frick just happened? And I'm like, emergency stop, son of a bitch.
Oh no.
Yeah.
See, for me, like I can't run all the way straight through like we did a couple of months ago. So I'm trying to bring myself back up. First, I did like a quick segment of walk. Then I went to sprint jogging at 5 miles an hour. And then if I feel like if I can't do it again, I just slowed down. Did a small segment of walking, then got back up. Like I'm trying to work up my repetition.
That sometimes helps too. Like if you feel it too, and it's just like if you're like shins or your like knees are just like going out and all that, you could always slow down and then like find yourself picking back up. Of course, it's a it's a terrible habit too, because I mean when you're in BMT, you can't just like slow it down and then bring it back up. No, you have to like run, push yourself and all that.
Do you do an incline or just flat?
No, I do an incline.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it's just not many, like a 1.5 and all that.
Yeah,
there are moments where you do like what is it? I think it's like the 13. It's called like
The 12-3-30?
12-3-30. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, no,
when I go to the gym, that's usually what I do.
Yeah, one of my bosses, she was just like, you could always try that and all that.
It's intense.
It's freaking ridiculous. So basically, it's like an incline of 12, 3 speed, and what was it, 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
And all that.
Holy.
Yeah, that's what I usually do when I go to the gym. That's when I do that. I do that.
No, and you think like, oh, well, you're going 3 speed. Nothing. Nope. When that thing is
with
up there
that
and you're
thing,
like,
yeah, it's bad.
holy
It's brutal.
shit. Yeah. So that's why people use the stairs and all that, because it's already, but yeah. I mean,
It's intense if you haven't like done it before.
I would say for you probably had to do the, 13, 3 and 15 minutes. Because no, it can surprise you. You're like, fuck this, stop it and all that. But yeah, no, it's ridiculous though, and don't ever underestimate it. So
it's intense for someone that when I go to the gym, that's what I do. Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, no, and so when after like running is done, sometimes, and dude, I am like drenched with like sweat and all that. Like I would have to like dry myself up a bit, because I kind of I think I left like a little outprint of myself on the corner of the whoops, when I did a wall sit, and I just
no.
You just see this sweat outline. I'm like, it's under like the no ego plaque of like Planet Fitness. I'm like, so I just kind of like, and I'm like fucking like Pink Panthering away. Like, nope, that wasn't me. And so like, oh shit. But nah. And there's like, sometimes I do like the rope pulls and all that. Again, I'm trying not to like build up any muscle right now, because I'm just like, so. But yeah, when I did like the 4-man planking, I did it. When we did it before, it was like, okay, let's try a minute. All right, 1 minute and 15. Try 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Oh. And I'm just like on there, and it basically prone like a dog almost, just kind of like, I'm just like looking down, or I'm like, trying to listen to some, tunes and all that. But that's the only thing keeping me up, and I'm kind of looking at people. But I could see the sweat like building up from my head, from running, that I'm just like, oh shit. Like, and you could just see the bloom, like just all the drops and everything.
And then you can feel it just like build up on your eyebrow like a sponge. You're just like,
so I just go like this, like, just shake it. Yeah.
Ace Ventura.
Or it's like Mission Impossible, like you see it drop.
But no, as soon as I get that done, squatting, and the push-ups and sit-ups, and it's just like, all right, I am like exhausted, but damn, does it like, because remember, the human body can only take like 1,000 calories per day, and anything beyond that, you gain weight. Anything below that, you definitely lose. So when you see my that calorie counter, if I lost like over 630, 650, 700 calories, pretty much like, okay, like I know I'm going to feel good going to bed and all that, losing all that weight. So, and I'm going to let my body starve, even though it's like, fuck you, But again, the reason why I have that orange, because of course the vitamin C, when you're like, when you had the feel the need of cough, you already had that, orange intake and all that. And of course, when you had the peanut butter with the protein and all that, you're kind of like, I'm okay, just water for now for the entire night. So I could go to my, go to bed, sleeping with like I did at least 700 plus calories I lost for tonight, and just let it like gradually incline and all that. So, anyway, enough about the gym and all that. I got one of the holy grails of Star Wars books. Now, this wasn't an official, book, but we have Star Wars: The Heart of the Jedi here.
What's so special about this book?
What's special about this book was that it was supposed to be published. Well, firsthand, kudos to Kenneth C. Flint, who wrote this book and everything. This book was supposed to be part of the Bantan run in 1992, but it got canceled in 1995. And so what happened was, it was, gonna be like one of those novels that finally like bridges, post Return of the Jedi to, all the other stories that happen after. But it's a very sad story with Kenneth C. Flint, the author, and how much he got like screwed, and he didn't know anybody. So, but he worked for Bantan or Spectra, and they were like, "Okay, man, hey, we're gonna get you up there because George Lucas gave us the okay, to have all these books written." And so, what happened was that he basically got brushed aside the cold shoulder, and then he canned it and all that. And that dude, like, he went through like hardships and everything. And that's what sucked about being a writer back then and all that. It was either that's it, and then go home and all that. Had to support his family one way or the other. And so, of course, the big reason with this book was after the Disney acquisition and all that, there was basically, they cut it in half, or cut it in half, but they basically said, remember, anything after, before this, that was just, they said the two timelines. This is legend stuff. So that doesn't matter anymore. But anything after this is what counts and all that, what we consider canon and all that. Of course, for big Star Wars fans, there was the, expanded universe novels. I was not a fan of like New Jedi Order. I was like, fucking no one kills Chewbacca, with a moon. Yeah, and I was just like, that's sad. Why would you kill that thing? And so after what we got, because Last Jedi was such a great film. Yeah, that Luke Skywalker is shit compared to, the expanded universe Luke. And so what's great about this novel was, even though it was like a perfect bridge to, some person took that. I mean, that guy's right. He put his original writings and sometimes the paperwork, what he was promised to, like, out there. And so there was like some guy self-published. He went on Amazon and they did the art exactly like how all the Bantan Star Wars books were, expanded universe books were.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like
dude,
official.
it looks legit.
It looks
yeah,
official.
Yeah. And so
So this is a technically unofficial book, but
unofficial book. So what's great was this was number 3 in one of the top selling, sci-fi, Star Wars books on Amazon. And it was outperforming like the High Republic books. So all the original fans, there was like a big fuck you to Disney Lucasfilm and all that. Like this universe is still alive, and this is counted because this guy was promised, and it didn't really derail anything. So they had to do like some edits to wedge it in, but it was like it took place between like True Sepakura and one of the Star Wars X-Wing Luke Skywalker novels and all that, Rogue Squadron novels.
Oh, Rogue Squadron. Okay.
What's great about this book too was even though it outperformed, of course, it lasted for like 12 hours, it was out for like for 1 month or like a couple weeks, but as soon as it was like outperforming like official like Disney canon books,
Wow.
they pulled it and all that. So there were only a few lucky ones that got this baby right here. So Star Wars: The Heart of the Jedi by Kenneth C. Flynn. So we'll give a little. So Kenneth C. Flynn's lost novel arrives to bookshelves at long last. Not really. Return to the Star Wars universe once more in The Heart of the Jedi. Darth Vader and the Emperor are no more. The Alliance has officially become the New Republic. As Han Solo, Princess Leia, and new Chief of State Mon Mothma emerge triumphant against the diminishing Empire, the Imperial remnant fights on until the long-silent Imperial Senate rises up to call for peace. But not everyone wants peace. High Admiral Tharkus has made plans to ensure the Empire will emerge under his rule. At his side stands the mysterious Dioscoroi, beings of rare and deadly powers. For Luke Skywalker, exhausted from years of fighting, the time has come to depart upon a journey of discovery, a journey that will lead him to a secret long ago hidden by Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ooh.
So, yeah, great thing, too, about this one was, rather than, oh my God, screw everything, I almost killed my nephew because of a bad dream. He was more of like, after I threw my lightsaber, why am I killing a bunch of people, stormtroopers and all that? They could just be, brushed aside and all that. Mm-hmm. And so it does have in the book and everything, it's, there's this like MacGuffin that he has to find and all that. And of course, he spoiler alert, like he finds it, but what he does with it is kind of perfect, Okay. So I won't say what happens, but there's a lot of things in this story that for some reason ended up like bits of it, like on Clone Wars, Rebels. There was a lot of similar parts, and it's scary. The one part too was Luke Skywalker like on the Star Destroyer, and like how the guy described it. And remember, this is 1992. This guy, described, like there was smoke, and everything, and blaster fire and all that in a Imperial Star Destroyer and all that. And then all of a sudden, this figure shows up, and the humming of the green lightsaber, green light blade, slashes, all these stormtroopers and all that, and the doors open, and all the, Imperial like officers are like scared to shit, and then out comes how you would see in the Mandalorian season 2, the Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
So you're just like, what are they taking now from? It's call it scary coincidence, but let's be honest. There's probably stuff that they taken from books or just read up on Wiki and just be like, let's use that and let's use that.
Oh, that.
And they probably had this. And it's online. You could view the whole book online. So if you can't find the book, obviously it goes really expensive on eBay and all that. You can look at it, view it online, but you could see like so many similarities of like, wait a minute, I remember that from that Rebels episode or I remember that Clone Wars episode that C-3PO was kidnapped, and then they implanted like some like, I don't know, Imperial mission.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So yeah, and then of course he's like kind of walking among like Padme and shit, and you're like, oh crap. And so you kind of think about like what kind of ideas are they taking now that So definitely, I mean, if you have a chance, The Heart of the Jedi, it's a good book. It's a good book. Okay. So like definitely like add that in there.
Hell yeah. And did you get it from Amazon or eBay?
Huh? For this one? No, I got it on eBay actually, but it wasn't like, thank Christ, it wasn't like, past like $50. So,
okay. Oh, that's good.
Dude, like it was just one of those sleepers, and I could see like there was like 13 watchers. I was like, fuck you. And then like just, woo, like sweet. Yeah, no, like just sweeped it from them. And I was like, haha.
Idiot.
Yeah, and that one guy that was looking like son of a bitch, and he's probably like that motherfucker. I think I know.
Like Indiana Jones, he just takes his money and then
I mean, dude, and that's a lot of things that when people say to me like, or when I look at a bunch of YouTube videos, oh, Star Wars is dead and all that. No, there's a lot of stuff to like look back on and all that. I mean, there was some expanded universe stuff. Like you could always go like Disney timeline, or you could actually what we had before, everything.
Read
and
the
all
books.
That. Read the books and all that.
The books,
and just,
definitely.
Like, I'll be straight up honest with you. Like I know that the true source material is in the books, but I'm one of those lazy asses like,
I don't like to read.
I don't like to read. Oh man, nah.
But you're right though. Like a lot of the good source material is within the books. People just got to read it and really adapt to it.
Yeah, and of course, like a popular one too. I had a friend of mine. His name is Matt Riley, and him and I, like when we connected over like Star Wars books and all that. Dude, he had the entire library, and I caught up with him. He's like, "Oh, dude, I had to sell those and all that." He's like, "I'm shooting myself in the foot right now," and it's just like, yeah. And so I tell people too, don't ever get any Star Wars books out there that Disney slapped on Legends. It's just like. Just to show they don't count. So
I'm so glad I have copies of Heir to the Empire. They're original copies.
yes, yes, definitely read the Thrawn trilogy. Though that's probably the highest of any like post.
So good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Come on, Ahsoka, adapt it.
I mean, it's Dave Filoni. He's got it.
Yeah. Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and Last Apprentice. Those are. Yeah, or not Last Apprentice, but yeah, it's
What was it called?
yeah.
I can see your friend right now doing like as a Star Wars meme with Luke Skywalker. You know the scene in the last year where he's like the sacred Jedi text.
Yeah, the Sacred Jedi text.
Yeah,
No,
the
those are it.
text.
Those are it. Yeah.
That's exactly the equivalent.
So
of
I
these
tell
books.
people, yeah, really, yeah.
Volume 1 is Heir to the Empire.
Yeah, Heir of the Empire, yeah. Oh, Last Command. That's it. Yeah. So, yeah, Dark Force Rising, Last Command. And, of course, if people were to, like, get... please, definitely, like, indulge yourself with, like, the Dark Force comic series as well. Dark Horse comic series with Dark Empire 2, where there was actually a kick-ass fight with Luke Skywalker and young Emperor Palpatine, a clone Emperor Palpatine.
Oh.
And it was like, why couldn't we just do that?
Right?
That could have been the nice build-up for, Rise, but no.
Yeah, that's true. I think one of my favorite comic book scenes too was when Darth Vader was hunting down Han Solo and Boba Fett was hunting down Han Solo, and they both kind of like interjected each other, and they ended up fighting each other over Han Solo, and that made him escape. And they're just like, "You motherfucker!"
Oh, yeah, no. In, like, the scary parts, but, like, and we're talking, like, pre-Boba Fett, like, prequels
Yeah,
and
this
all
was,
that.
like,
He
during
was
the
supposed to
3
be,
original
like,
sequels.
bastardized, like, he was a really top-skilled, like, stormtrooper, and then he kind of went, like, screw it, and, like, I don't want to work for these people and all that. And so, I don't know why Vader let him back in, but he was like, well, you got skill. I'll give you that. And so, I do miss, like, some of the stuff that there was, like, hinted, like Boba Fett maybe killed, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru and all that.
He did.
I know. That's to keep the cold badassery, the bad guy, of Boba Fett, the Fett family, and all that. Yeah, I still hold that true. Like there's some things that you really do that you just can't discard. Like I know, like there was this new story that what was that? Marvel Comics put out, of course, Marvel owned by Disney. The War of the Bounty Hunters, which we take place in between, Empire and Jedi. But I'm like, you guys will never have that luxury of being Shadows of the Empire.
No, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, no. And if anyone experienced that, dude, there was nothing like it before. And it was a great marketing ploy, too. It was just like, it was a movie without a movie, a phrase that's been used. And, at the time, like, remember, we only had, like we had just like this TV spot, and we're just like, is this some new movie coming out? No. Well, there's a bunch of toys, there's novels, and of course, playing the N64 game, and I'm like reading the novel, but I'm like confused because I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't align with what I'm reading here and all that. Because the comic book, novel, and the video game had their own stories and all that. Like, and two of those, in the main novel, Dash Rendar, is basically a fucking prick. I'm not paid for this. I'm out of here. Like, thanks for helping us. But, like, I always envision him as, like, hey, I got to get paid, and I'll help you guys just because. I mean, the Empire would be on my tail. And so, whenever, like, we go to those Zia or, like...
Half-price books.
Half-price books or Bookmans.
Bookmans,
yeah. Always, like... go through those. Like, actually, a nice way to collect is also, like, I know there's toys, there's pops and everything, there's Legos and all that. Like, those stories, though, are really you know, you just have to envision like what, you know, what it could have been and all that, and you're just like, well, shit.
Yeah, I love going to those stores with you guys because there's always those rare occurrences where we find some good shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like just the other day, I found Batman the Animated Series comic book adaptation, issue number 1. It was only $3. I was just like, hell yes, I'm grabbing this now because that is a really good read.
Yeah. That now, like, you know, every time, like, it's funny now that, like, the books, I've seen, like, a couple, like, books there, like, at, I would say Bookman's, and I just see, like, the paperbacks just getting smaller, and I'm just like, I could see the fans are just retreating to a time where, you know, before the dark times, you know, they would go back to these, and so
Before the streaming services.
yeah, I had a Charles Barrow book. It was a Clone Wars novel, A Dark Rendezvous, and it's just with Yoda and Dooku, and in the book and all that, it's basically, you know, Dooku wants to make peace and all that, so he wants to like hit up a chit chat with like Yoda and be like, you know, reminisce old times, but also like, you know, well, we'll negotiate a ceasefire if you guys surrender. Which Yoda's like, fuck you, dude. We have the High Republic, or no, we have the Republic.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, like, I'm only like about like 20 pages into it, and already I'm like, oh, this is good. Like, this is good. Like I'm, you know, there's it's not really a spoiler because it's like right at the start of the darn book, but like there's
We know what
Windu.
happens after the Clone Wars.
Mace Windu. Yeah, exactly. Mace Windu's in there, and I'm like, I'm you know, playing the voice of
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson in my. It's just kind of fun, like, you know, doing all that. But yeah, no, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, no. You could, I mean, you could definitely like envision and all that. But one of my favorite, because this is what got them like, you know, got him hooked on was I'm like, oh yeah, Yoda went to the dark side in Dark Rendezvous.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, I was like, what?
I know, yeah. And as soon as like, wait, what? That happened? And it's like, yeah, dude, check it out, man. And then so like Yoda, he's just like, dude, I'm 900 years old, like, or 850 something years old. Do you really want to go down this path and all that? Like, yeah. And he's just like, motherfucker, you're gonna lose anyway, just because you were my student.
Well, yeah, like he did bring up a line where he was talking about like, oh yeah, I've lived so long and I've seen things that, you know, others only saw when they were like children, but I was still an adult, you know. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that is true. Yeah, because
and that's trippy.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, he lived so long. He's literally seen so many of these people go from children to adults,
and you know, for something like Order 66 to like boom, like, oh shit, like that hits him and all. But like he like does like the dark side, you know, he goes to the dark side for a little bit, and it scares the shit out of Count Dooku. But then like, spoiler, he like, you know, Yoda comes back, he's like, no, that was neat. And he was just like, what the hell was that?
Now, wasn't there a short arc in season 6 of the Clone Wars where Yoda, like, he went off to do some sort of training to try and get into, like, figure out what happens to you at, like, try to become a Force Ghost? Am I remembering that correctly?
So I think what you were reflecting on is that one episode where he had to go on his own psychological, spiritual journey, and there was like a dark Yoda that he was facing of himself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what you're referring to, because I think even Palpatine, he was foresight seeing how Yoda was going through this trial, because Yoda saw Count Dooku being killed by Anakin, and then Anakin being killed by the Emperor, and Yoda trying to defeat the Emperor. But then Yoda had to accept that if he died, he died. Mm-hmm. He wasn't going to try to turn. He wasn't going to try to do anything. He was like, all right, well, I did my best.
Yeah, he basically went to he went to like the Sith home world when it was originally Korriban, or not Exegol. And so they actually read it. But so what happens is, you know, he goes in, but he also fights like the ghost of like Darth Bane.
Voiced by Mark Hamill.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh crap, you know, here we go, man. So dude, Tales of the Jedi, those are some great novels.
I was just gonna bring that up because I haven't watched it yet. I do want to watch it, but there's half of it is focused on Ahsoka, half of it is focused on.
No. I'm talking about Tales of the Jedi with the original Dark Horse line, where it took place in the Great Sith War. And the Great Sith War was really, really like, holy crap! Like, this is the reason why it sets up like the rule for 2 and all that, and how they were like hell war bound and all that, and like, you know. dude, like they poor Mandalorians. Just FYI, people, they got their asses whooped a lot. So if you want to live, guys, you're gonna have to work for the Sith. Okay.
That would have been during the Old Republic, right?
Yeah, very, very old Republic. We're talking even before when Yoda was born and all that. So
Ancient times.
yeah, and so no, there was like many great stories too. Kind of the designs in the '90s were really weird too, but they had like it wasn't like the Kylo Ren blade or anything like that. They actually had like knives, like kind of like things outside.
Oh yeah.
When they would like turn it off and then stab someone, like, it was just like, damn, that was cold, like, dude. And so
they basically had like classic medieval swords as lightsabers.
does anyone want me to spoil how Thrawn actually dies?
No. No.
Well, I know they're gonna change it because it was fucking ridiculous.
Okay, I do want to reread the books again before Ahsoka comes out.
And I did watch Tales of the Jedi, which were really good.
Yeah, someone did a fan edit where it's a one big movie, and I was like,
Really?
"Oh God, yeah!" So I downloaded that.
Sweet.
So
It's on Plex.
I love fan edits.
Is it on Plex?
Huh? I haven't got up to that yet, but no. So, where people think like Thrawn's awesome and all that, just FYI, he died like a bitch, and it was the most ridiculous thing ever. So, I'm rereading, glanced over, Last Command, and I had to hit up my friend Spencer Loper. So, Spencer, you mentioned out here, and so I'm just like, oh no. I'm like, this assassin punk, really? His little bodyguard or whatever. And he's just like, yeah, this is the shittiest thing. Like, they can't do this wrong.
If this happens in Ahsoka,
He dies.
I don't think it will.
He dies sitting down, killed by his own bodyguard.
Oh.
You think it's gonna be like, I'm standing on the bridge of a ship and then I'm gonna die in a blaze of glory. Just no. Sure. And he's just sitting on the chair, and all these officers are like, "What happened?
what? It's called assassination, motherfucker.
Got killed by his own bodyguard, his own high assassin."
Whoops.
Very anticlimactic.
Yes, it was. It was like, what a great, novels. People were like, yeah. That's it? Yeah, that's it. It was like about as anticlimactic as like the Bela Lugosi's Dracula death. And it was like, that's it.
I want to say that sounds about as anticlimactic as Reva from Kenobi.
But she didn't die in it, though. That's the thing.
But her whole revenge plan, it's like, well,
Her revenge was ridiculous. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's just,
Revenge does wonders for the will to live.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? The next episode has to be all this stuff. We're just like, believe me, yeah.
Well, that was me with Jedi Survivor, but
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I guess that'll be your thing then for the next episode.
So here's one thing, because look, as much as we like to expand, with Last Jedi, we could definitely wrap just it really started disappointing. I know fans need to remember this. Not many people love George Lucas for the prequels and all that, and then that's what happened. He got pressured and he was like, "Look, this thing I'm selling to the Disney. Disney could do no wrong." And then oops, and then here comes
Kathleen
Force Awakens, and it's like Rogue One, yeah, and then Last Jedi, and it was, and I don't care what everybody thinks, this is a guy who, Sam Witwer, you even said it, but you're under contract, so yeah, those Disney paychecks gotta come in. But I just have to say, he was just like, this is, let's talk about Luke, and this is what Sam Witwer said, the voice of, Darth Maul and the cartoon series, and of course Starkiller in Force Unleashed. And he was just like, this is a guy who literally threw his lightsaber down in front of like, the most evil man in the galaxy saying, you're not going to corrupt me like you corrupted my dad and all that. And I'm not going to kill him and all that. And this guy like threw down his saber and he, all of a sudden, like we flash forward and he just had a bad dream, a bad vision, and just turned on his lightsaber and like, I'm going to kill my nephew or something like that. And then whoop. And then, like, everything goes to shit for him, and he's like, "Oh, he's gonna take my teachings and corrupt everybody." Oh my God! Well, be the hero, stop him, or better yet, like, "Hey, wake the fuck up, do training," which he could have said.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's like, get up, we need to talk.
Yeah, get up,
yeah.
we need to talk. Then I don't know, but the Rise of Kylo Ren kind of like did it a little better. Which, of course, if you have to have comics or cartoons explain it for you, you have a problem.
You have a problem.
You definitely have a problem.
Star Wars is not a cinematic universe. Star Wars is a straight story. Don't make me go elsewhere.
So that's the problem now. It's like they're counting on, well, you got to buy this. Well, no, I call it cheap writing is what it is. And you got to have people like Dave Filoni and all these other writers who don't get enough credit to like, make that trilogy worth it more. It's sad, but like,
yeah, now these days you got these fake Star Wars fans, but like, oh, this is what we want, Star Wars. And it's like, no.
Yeah, so I've been watching like some Star Wars like discussion videos and like retrospectives and also like investigations in on it, things like that. And they basically summed it up this way: is if you look at the original trilogy and even the prequel trilogy as well, yes, there were time jumps, but the thing of it is that you could still piece together what happened. You could see where the characters grew, evolved, and where they became. Whereas when we got into the sequel trilogy, there was such a massive gap of time, and we're
supposed to believe, that.
Yeah, we're supposed to believe that these people that we left off Han Solo, being in a relationship with with Leia, and the rebels having won, and all this stuff like that. And now we're supposed to believe, and Luke Skywalker is now a capable Jedi, and he's going to train up a new generation. And we fast forward all this time later, and all of a sudden, he's become, Luke has now become Jake Skywalker,
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Han Solo has now,
he's a loser.
He's a loser. He's basically just gone back to, doing what he used to do. But even then, he's lost the Falcon, and all this stuff like that. And all this has happened, and nobody's like how they used to be. It's like, what?
Well, it's like people change and all that, but it was just like, and then people like, you better, yeah, and then like
as we hear a bullshit coming from the bathroom.
So even that comes from, and it's just like, and look, and Mark Hamill, I know you were paid by, again, the Disney money and all that, the hush hush, but even then you kind of let it slip how you were disappointed how your character.
He absolutely
he
did.
absolutely
he
was.
Absolutely did, yeah.
Like, and you could see him when he's like, well, when I saw the lightsaber picked up, I thought I was going to pick it up, and then all of a sudden it was Rey, and then it was like,
yeah.
When you look at it too retrospectively, you're just like, wow, they didn't have a plan.
No.
And
No.
So,
yeah.
and we get bash at it, and all that. But going back to the novels and all that, this is why, like, you could like those. Look, and I'm not saying you people are not real and all that, but if you enjoy it, great, you enjoy it and all that. But I'm not going to eat shit, say it's good.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, I have my views, you have your views and all that, but we're Star Wars fans, so.
Exactly.
So, but my Luke, he's still alive, and he married Mara Jade, and he had
Han Solo and Leia had twins.
He had a
Yep.
son, Ben Skywalker, and
Exactly.
whooped ass and all that.
Is Jaina and Jason, right? Something like that?
Hold on. It's Jason, Jason with Jacen, Jaina, and Anakin. Yeah,
They had three kids?
Yeah, 3 kids.
Oh shit! I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
poor
I just had twins.
Anakin, Jason. Yeah, fucking. And then Jenna. Yeah,
That's what Kylo Ren
God.
should have been, but no.
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, but of course they summed them up, and okay. The only reason why it exists because they were on film. Well, I guess you could put it that way, but yeah, and I know we talked about it. It was mentioned before, like, how would you introduce the new generation? We're talking to viewers out there. If
Oh
you're-
yeah,
yeah.
I posed this question in our chat. weeks ago, like, keep this in mind for a future episode. How would you like show your kids or like future generation of Star Wars fans the
So
movies?
it just the more you just like try to like expand upon it, it just becomes a clusterfuck. So for anybody, kids and all that, there's only like if you introduce them to the other ones, you screwed up already. But to everybody out there, you start, and this is why you start off with the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
New
4, 5,
Hope,
and 6.
4, 5, and 6. New Hope, Empire, and Jedi.
I would show the original 3 in that remastered edition where they look like the original format.
Project
Well,
4Ks.
Project 4K is despecialized by Harmy, or just do the Gout, official release from those ones.
Yeah, sure.
But as long as what sucks is you're gonna have those parents that have no fucking clue about those, so they're just gonna like whatever. So, but you would start 4, 5, 6, but we encourage you unaltered 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
That is all. That's all we ask. There's people that you got to watch it. No, just 4, 5, and 6, and then wait
19 years.
1988. Yeah, wait 11 years. I know for you, wait 15 years for Phantom Menace, and then we got to go not chronological, but like in order of release. Yeah. You're gonna have to go what we went through.
You will suffer as your elder.
But in the meantime, you can like toss them a few video games. Like, here you go, you can play this. Yeah,
That's true.
Republic Commando, Rogue Squadron. There you go.
Oh, I know. I have a like when Danny mentioned like how would you watch the films, I actually have an essential guide to how you should view or live the Star Wars experience. So yes, you would have to do Star Wars, Holiday Special, Empire, Return of the Jedi. And then you would have the terrible Ewok movies, and then you will have the droids and Ewoks cartoons.
Oh man!
And this is where we take you to, old Marvel Comics land and novels and all the video games, and then you could revisit the special editions. Yeah.
Oh no.
Again, let's see, from 83 to 97 is so. Give it 14 years, and then introduce your kids to the special editions.
Oh boy!
And you can see, like, I'm keeping this kid like Amish from all the future stuff. Like, you will not experience those things.
Daddy, who's Ray?
But man, like,
You won't mention her until you're in your 20s.
well, I saw this picture.
No, you did not.
Just like in Force Lightning, like all my hate. Just
Dad, who's Anakin?
You're not supposed to know about me until you're 10.
Well,
no,
no,
Anakin,
he mentioned
yeah.
Anakin in
In-
Empire, right?
no, Return.
No, the first one, I think. No, I think he just
No, they just mentioned father,
father.
but the name,
Oh,
the name, yeah.
But I would say, like, if my kids brought up, like, the Clone War names, I'd just be like, you're not supposed to know them yet.
Not yet. You're gonna have to wait. When did?
the first, like, the micro series Clone Wars,
Well-
Tarkovsky's Clone Wars.
Well,
was, like,
hold on.
2000.
From 83 to no, and then Happy Birthday, Attack of the Clones.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you have to wait 19 years, and then we'll go to Attack of the Clones land. And
Yeah, pretty much.
it'll probably be shorter, just because being an 88 child, like, okay, fine,
Watch my kid be like,
Dad, can we train like clone troopers?
oh, you want to train? We're going to laser tag.
No, but oh my god, I could see that kid, like a kid's face when, like, oh my god, can you imagine like the Yazan Vong like in Force Awakens and all, or Episode 7, 8, and 9, Dad? Yeah, I can imagine. Try to imagine that. Biting your fist. Wait, hold on. Put a bucket over your head.
Okay.
By bucket, do you mean Boba Fett or Stormtrooper?
And so, when they watch that, I just can't wait to see the kid go like, "What the fuck was that?"
I can't wait to see my kid's face when it goes, no, I am your father.
Oh,
I've been seeing that reaction everywhere. I die laughing at the kids going like, is he really his father?
Yeah, okay. Kudos to you, parents, too, for Yeah, don't bring up the prequels first. Just watch that and that impact of like,
Exactly.
whoa, what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It totally messes with the kids because they think it's straight up good versus evil, but then realize that the evil is the son or the father of the son. It's like, wait a minute, what the hell?
Exactly.
And I guess you could. Nah, I guess if you revisit it and all that, or if it's on TV, you don't mind like, hey, you could watch Rogue One here and all that. And be like,
okay.
it doesn't really reveal anything because they're just
true.
like nothing about the Skywalkers until that dude at the very. Well, remember, let's say this is a kid's introduction and just sees that fucking, that scene with the Darth Vader in the hallway, and you're like, whoa, what the hell? And then you experience it more as you go through the original trilogy, and you're just like, oh, that's sad. That guy, massacred.
I mean, you could also show off Andor and Solo, but that depends on the parents.
Nope. Yeah, you can just start Rogue One. I call Rogue One the DLC pack for
DLC pack.
if you just want to play the game straight or watch the movie straight through, go ahead. But we highly recommend just 4, 5, and 6.
For me, like I talked with Sabrina about this. Like, what I would want to do is like a hybrid chronological like viewing from like for like my future kids. So 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, really? We got into that part of the ship. But anyway, go on.
4, 5, and 6, absolutely. 1, 2, Clone Wars the show. 3.
Okay.
Then we move on to, I believe, after 3 would be Bad Batch. Then we would get into then we would go into Rogue One. And then after
you have to watch Andor because it's
I haven't watched Andor yet. So I can't
you have
speak
to.
it.
No, it's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
it's
It's good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Then we would jump into Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. I don't think there's anything else in between that. And then we would jump to.
It just ends at Mandalorian season 2.
I would kill the sequel trilogy, but just so you know, the first sequel is the only good one.
I won't even give them. Just be prepared. That's all.
Be like, get a bucket, put bucket on.
Now, see, if I ever have kids, and I hope I do have kids, like I would definitely show the original 3 first.
Yeah.
And then just for guilty pleasure, like if my kid happens to be a Han Solo fan, I'll give him that little waiver where he can watch the Solo movie with me because I actually do like the Solo film. That's a guilty pleasure.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you guys though, that scene when he sees the Falcon for the first time, I told you guys about this because that was exactly our reaction when we saw the Falcon first time. That was a verbatim experience. I'm like, if my kid gets that moment where he's like, I want to see the Falcon, we're going to fucking Disneyland.
All right, kids, come on. Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Punch it, Chewie. Just a little version of me just going.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to add, or?
I mean, other than that, like Star Wars is just a big part of our lives, and we do have like a very strict guideline to how we want to introduce it to generations upon generations. And between the books and what we get in film, at this point the fans just need to take it over and just make sure it's written exactly the way it needs to be.
And yes, kudos to all you people that find like the fan edits and all
Yes.
that. That try.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you.
everybody works together. I like how it's not just one editor; it's an entire team of all these fans that are like, this works. But I always like how they always use the original trilogy as the baseline.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
How it should be told. So they have to cut out some of the corny stuff and all that because when I showed Book of Boba Fett and all that, that edit, it was just like, that was 10 times better than that. Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
It maintained the badassery of Boba Fett, and it's like, where was this? Where was this version?
And I'll probably be guilty of it, but I'll just be like, okay, we got done with Return of the Jedi. Hey, remember that guy that fell into that pit?
Here you go.
Yeah, here you go.
There you go,
Yeah,
yeah.
can you imagine how you started off with that? Like,
Yeah.
what the hell was that?
Yeah. It'd be like, but you show that to your kids, and it'd be like, Daddy, why did he get fat all of a sudden?
So you'll know.
He was in there a really long time.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, that about wraps it up for this episode of the Petty Cash Podcast. I'm your host, Joe. I'm joining here for my co-host here.
Sabrina.
Danny?
Charles.
Vinny.
And we want you to say, enjoy yourselves out there. May the force be with you. And slow down, chew your food. Oh God, way to start it.
Just getting the audio levels ready. Besides, like, this is good.
It's working.
This is also good, like, outtakes for afterwards.
I guess.
This one I pulled it straight from the.
I know, I saw that. I couldn't find anything on the internet to fix that one up. I was just like, all right,
Should've mentioned
I see your
Trim.
FNAF, and I raise you a Golden Freddy.
That was good. I like that. Yeah. I just ripped it straight from the trailer.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I wanted a nice clean one, and I was like,
Looks
that
so
was,
good.
that was
If that
perfect.
gets brought up, you three nerds could talk about it with each other.
Four nerds, thank you.
Suck each other off. Oh, yeah, I'll be out of there.
Thank you.
JD, that's for you, man. So you could definitely leave it on this side. Yeah.
But if Batman gets brought up, if the Flash comes up,
No,
where
that's been brought up way too many times.
I know,
So,
but still, it's just
yeah.
like more shit keeps coming out, and like you and I just keep going.
Tickets on sale Tuesday.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Stop humping Charles there. Okay. Oh, darn.
So speaking of which, I was at the Lego store just the other day checking to see if those Lego Batman polybags came in. And one of the employees was already building the Lego Batcave set. It is so gorgeous.
God damn.
The Bat.
I thought they built those like in the back and then brought them out to the front. I didn't-
Should.
No. What
Yeah.
they set up those freaking folding tables right in the middle of the floor. They have it all set up so everybody can literally watch them build it.
Wow.
And I was just like,
What's that?
Yeah, I know. You grabbed the minifig, run.
you'll just see me charge at them. Off the 2-story.
After that unceremoniously, beginning the audio. So here we go. In 5,